Good morning, it's Dave at All Things Important Reviews, and I've got with me today another, well, they should just call me Dave Pagani because I've bought that many of the watches, but I am a big fan of Pagani, as you all know. I had to pick this one up, even though I've already got this model in about 4 different colours. I just had to pick it up because this is one of my favourite style of watches. It's obviously styled from the Rolex, what they called, it's GMT Master 2, the root beer model, the two-tone root beer, because obviously it looks like a kind of root beer in terms of the colours. The Rolex also do a complete Ever Rose model that's about 25 grand to 30 grand that is simply unbelievable to look at. It is absolutely superb. Now, this is a homage to their two-tone version, and this is the Pagani design PD 1662 two-tone GMT. This has the ceramic two-tone bezel that is completely ceramic. Excellent bezel. It does have a tiny bit of back play, it's not perfect. This is fully loomed, 40mm nominal in the you know, fat style of chunky style case. This one is only 12.6mm thick, they call it 12.5mm nominal, with the 3-link bracelet and the double locking flip lock clasp with 3 micro adjust slots settings with divers extension. I've not actually used this yet, so on this, flipping out that strong. Right, I'll get it out later because that is really, really tight. Sometimes on the initial press, if it is really tight. This clasp style is my favourite. I think it is functionally excellent, extremely comfortable, nice, long and narrow. Sapphire crystal with a GMT functionality, which means you can get 3 different time zones on this watch. Now, I go to Thailand frequently. I go to Thailand probably about 3 times a year because my girlfriend is Thai, and one day I'm going to be living there, hopefully permanently, which is what I want to do. And I can't, and what, you know, I'd love to be able to talk about watches and politics and live in a different country, in a tropical, beautiful country like Thailand. The issue, and I'm trying to do that now basically by obviously having a YouTube channel. I'm trying to get more views and, you know, earn a little bit of money on the side kind of thing, whilst also one day living in Thailand. That's what I want to do. So I would actually use the two time zones. I wouldn't use 3, but I would use 2. And so with these GMT watches, you get that. This has, I believe, a pearl DG something movement, which is a high beat movement. But those are the nominal specs out of the way. And let me just tell you this now, the presentation on this Homage watch, so the appearance of it, the way they've done the polishing, the way they've done the ceramic bezel, the way they've copied the design very closely, extremely closely, of the Rolex one. The Rolex one costs about, I don't know, 10 to 15 grand, if not more, which I'll never buy because that's just a complete rip-off. But the real Rolex one has true Ever Rose, you know, has true rose gold center links. This is not true rose gold, obviously. This is a PVD, tiny application to what is otherwise stainless steel. But let me tell you this now, the presentation of this single unit, of the single watch model, is number 1, the best presentation that I have ever seen in a Homage watch. It looks like a 10 grand watch. I'm not kidding you. It looks like a 10 grand. I can't believe when it come out, the box, I couldn't actually believe what I was seeing, because they've managed to recreate that pizzazz and pure class that obviously Rolex can do, you know, for breakfast. It's just, that's what they do. But the Rolexes cost so expensive that many people now are just buying, and the wait lists are ridiculous and all that, because the whole thing's a massive game that is done by Rolex to try and make people want it and more exclusive and all that stuff. But you know, this is just for a fraction of the cost, and I think I got it in a deal for about 85 quid. I've kept some of the stickers on just in case I wanted to sell it, but I am actually probably going to keep it now because I'm blown away by it. I am blown away. The presentation alone is worth easily that money. Functionality, you know, the bracelet is good. It is a little bit more jangly. The bracelet is not perfect, but it is highly, highly comfortable. The clasp tolerances will not be amazing. I've already reviewed this watch, so there's no point me really going over all the stuff again. I can do if you really want me to, but basically with these watches, you know, the common positives are the ceramic bezels. Now anyone who uses an aluminium bezel will know that aluminium bezels scratch very easily, and they also don't have the shine and luster of a ceramic or sapphire or lacquered bezel. Now I'm a big fan of Victorinox, and Victorinox use lacquered bezels, I believe, which I don't actually know what the exact material actually is, but it lacquered feels like a ceramic to me. And this is actually ceramic, they've said. And when you see a ceramic bezel or a non-aluminium bezel, you'll never go back to aluminium. That's why I'll never buy Tudor, because Tudor use crappy aluminium bezels and I'd hate them. It makes the watch look 20 times more expensive than it really is by using a ceramic bezel. You know, the bezel is excellent. There is a bit of backplay there, no doubt about it, but it's excellent. The alignment is excellent. The loom is moderate. It is only moderate. It is nowhere near as good as Seiko, Citizen, and of course the Rolex. It is not in the same hemisphere, but it is admirable. It is admirable. Now, interestingly, the points I'm going to talk about on this review, because I've already reviewed this watch again, I don't want to go through everything again like I normally do, because it's just going to bore everyone. But the sapphire crystal is excellent. It'll never scratch, or it'll scratch very thingy. The ceramic bezel will never scratch, or it'll only scratch in extreme circumstances. They are more brittle though than aluminium, and they will shatter if you're unlucky to drop them from a height more easily. So I'll just point that out. But I still prefer sapphire, and I prefer ceramic bezel. The thickness of this watch, separate to the other models, is thinner, which is excellent. Now, the real Rolex GMT Master, depending on the unit you get, because there's variants even in Rolex, there's variants up to 0.5 mil in some Rolexes. I'm not kidding you, because I've seen my friend who has I think his Submariner is 12.3, and I've also seen some Submariners at 12.8, and I've also seen them at 12 mil. Now, the GMT Master 2, I believe, has a thickness between 12 mil and 12.5 mil. This one is 12.6. Now, other reviewers have reviewed this model and they've got 12.5. But basically what that means is, instead of it being the other models, the other colours, sorry, within the 1662, they're more like 13.3, 13.5 mil thick. And what that means is, it means the watch is if it's thicker, it's more top heavy, and I prefer it not to be as top heavy, so I prefer it to be thinner. I think 12 mil on these style of watches is a sweet spot, because what people never understand is when they say a 40 mil watch, you know, 40 millimeters, the diameter is only one measurement, and the lug to lug, the end link to end link, and the case thickness and the case size, the supporting case, that can totally change a watch in terms of its feel on the wrist. Now, this watch is 41 mil, so the watch diameter on this is bigger slightly by 0.5 mil than this one. But let me tell you this now, this feels significantly bigger than this on the wrist, even though this is a bigger diameter. And the reason is because, number one, this has a smaller lug to lug, and The case, supporting case is tiny. The steel, the amount of stainless steel there is much less. So look at all that steel that you get there that you don't get here. And the bracelet on this style makes the watch, because it has further articulation points, it makes the watch feel lighter on the wrist. But these 3-link oyster style make it feel, like it is heavier than it really is, if you get what I'm saying. Well, it makes it heavier than the 5-link Jubilee style or this style of bracelet. It makes it feel heavier on the wrist. So that's what people never tell you about these watches, really. So it's complicated. The size is complicated, and in this style of case, I do prefer 40mm. I don't like the 43 in this style. 43, I can wear it in this style, but if it's 13mm or 12.5mm thick, it's probably going to be, as an all day everywhere, too big. But this at 12.5mm now, this is excellent. This is so comfortable on this band. Now, they don't do yet a Jubilee style band for it, but I'm sure they will be doing a 5-link. But you can just see that now, how beautiful that watch looks. It looks absolutely beautiful. It really does. And if that alone is a reason to buy it, you know, you're getting the fully solid end links, fully solid links with screw pins, not with crappy push pins. It does have screw pins, and the link thickness is perfect. There is nothing on this bracelet that aggravates the wrist. Some models I have to, not off Pagani really, but off other manufacturers, I have to sometimes file down. Like on this watch, I'll just show you dead quick. I know I'm reviewing a different watch here now, but on this watch, just as a thing, I had to file down. You see the back of them swing arms? I had to file them down because they were too sharp. Okay, and on some watches the clasp is also too sharp. Not this one, but yeah, they were so sharp I had to file them down. On this watch, it's already been, nothing on this clasp aggravates me. Some people may say that is too sharp, the case edge, but for me it's acceptable. San Martin watches, they are too sharp on the bracelets in my opinion, and that is one major downside to that brand. They need to put a chamfer on all the edges of the bracelet and case. But with Pagani, I've never had that issue. So the bracelet is excellent. The functionality of the clasp is excellent, even though the tolerances are not brilliant. It still works completely fine, and it's comfortable. Again, I'm having issue getting that out. I'm not going to get it out here now, but I will get it out later, the divers extension, just to show you. It does have a 5.5 centimetre divers extension, as you already know. But the main reason I'm doing this kind of mini review this morning is just to show you this colour option. And what Pagani have told me is, I could be wrong, but because obviously the Chinese, and communicating with them at times is quite difficult sometimes, because obviously we're from different countries and all that. It is kind of difficult to understand and to communicate. You know, it's not, I'm not being thingy, I'm just being honest. You know, my girlfriend's Thai, and sometimes it is difficult communicating when you can't speak another language with obviously someone who speaks a completely different language, and when you're translating online it's more hard. But I think what they're saying is, to me, and I'll clarify with them, but they're going to swap, when they've sold out all of last year's production batches for the 13.5mm thick models that are in the different colours, they're going to drop them down to this case, which is a thinner case, which is better for what I like. So I will pick this up in black and green. I'll pick it up in different colours when they drop the thickness down, because currently at 13.5mm thick, I don't like it on this bracelet. I only like it when it's 12.5mm or low, personally, on this particular style of watch. Now I have other watches that are also in this style from other manufacturers that are 13.2mm, 14.5, and they don't feel top heavy, but I don't know why. On the Pagani ones, it does. So I'm going to wait until they drop down the thickness, because I believe they're going to do that this year, which is excellent. So yeah, all in all, if just for the looks alone, not just the performance of the movement and all that, and the sapphire and the ceramic, just on looks alone, this will get attention. When you're out and about, people see this on your wrist. They're going to think, in all honesty, that it is a real Rolex. It just looks unbelievably close to the actual Rolex. It really does. It's frightening. So yeah, I just thought I'd show this model. It's a popular model. It is an excellent all-round watch. You know, everyday beater, style, performance, fantastic. Well done, Pagani. Thanks for checking my reviews out. There's loads more coming up. It's been Dave. Have a great day.